right, Josh Odson has a claim. He says we know ball. Why do you say
do we not know ball, Connor?
Show your work, Josh. Why do we know ball?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Maybe because we correctly predicted
that all the better teams.
The winners of every CFP game. Told you Texas would struggle in the red zone, and that turned out to be the difference in the game. They roundly mocked us for picking the Bills to win.
I don't know what happened with that. America got sideways on that one. I'm not even going to take credit for that. I just feel like we were there to straighten people out.
Told you who'd win most of the playoff games. We know ball. Told you who would win the basketball games and who would not win the basketball games.
I don't know that I predicted Nebraska to lose by 40 in basketball.
It doesn't matter by how many points.
I don't know that I predicted Nebraska to lose. I don't know. I don't think I predicted. I also don't think I predicted Creighton, for the record.
Wow.
But I talked about how scary it is to play in each of those buildings in the fine state of Indiana.
House of Horrors.
Yeah, not good. So getting a lot of this sent my direction at the moment. Don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay. I'm terrified.
It's a screenshot of an email from Nebraska basketball.
The program sends out emails?
They, like to people who have tickets.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, here's what you could look forward to.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
So Nebraska basketball plays a home game on Thursday against Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be ladies' night at the Vault.
Okay.
Where they will be serving sangria.
Women love sangria, am I right?
There will be a Fred Hoiberg air freshener with his head on it that you could get. It's a giveaway. And a t-shirt will be for sale that says, "Our coach,
who art in heaven,
is better looking than your coach."
Oh, okay.
And that'll be the celebration on Thursday.
So many follow-up questions. Which way to go? I assume Fred knows about this?
I would also assume that. I would think in order for this to be cleared that Fred has been notified.
Now, do you think they said, "Hey, Fred, we're going to do this.
We're going to give away an air freshener with your face on it"?
I assume his reaction is, "Yeah, sure, what the hell? I don't care. I got basketball to cover."
I would like to have the Fred Hoiberg air freshener, if we're being completely honest.
I'd like to know what it looks and smells like.
I mean, it just looks like his face. I don't know what it smells like.
This
Fred,
is a huge story.
Fred loves his wine. His wine. And it's ladies' night.
He strikes me as a guy that smells like clean laundry.
Linens?
Yeah.
Does Fred Hoiberg smell like linens? Fresh linens?
First poll question of the week.
It's a good start. So that one's up at Happer Show, or will be up here momentarily. Josh says this is and I quote, "This is a huge story."
It is.
This has unfortunately derailed the show.
I am stuck on this.
All right.
I will think about I don't care about what has happened, which is a lot of what today's show is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I care about this.
Okay.
Because this is hilarious.
Well, it's a developing story, and we'll keep our eyes on it.
Do you think we can get our hands on one before Thursday? We have connections.
We do.
Maybe just a description of the scent.
I could reach out for that. I could ask. I could ask for that.
Break a story.
I mean, you know what? Let me send a text right now. let me send it. Let me send a text to a person who would know.
Okay. I love how connected you are.
Well, it's with this specific thing. I'm actually extremely connected.
Okay.
I would call myself a little too close to the situation.
That's great for this show.
No, I don't know.
Great position.
I don't know if it is because they're going to take some. They're going to take some heat for this one.
No, this is a great promotion.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. I'm glad you said.
No, this is a great promotion. This is a good promotion. Fred Hoiberg, an attractive man.
Yes.
Ladies' night, kind of a weird promotion. I didn't know where we were going at first with the ladies' night and the sangria. It sounded like something that would take place in like 1997. But then we got to like the funny and entertaining parts of this promotion with the T-shirt and the air freshener.
Chris writes in, whose face air freshener would you want?
This is also a great follow-up question.
Fred is honestly a great place to start.
Yeah.
Great place to start. I like it. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing here.
What do you think a Bob Devaney air freshener smells like?
I think you know. I think you know.
I would like my home to smell like that. It oftentimes does.
All right, I've sent a text. What does the Hoiberg air freshener smell like? Platcat writes in.
Hi, Platcat.
What would a Happer air freshener smell like?
Hmm.
Josh, you would know better than almost anyone on planet Earth what I smell like. What's a good, or you're really not trying to catch what the person actually smells like. You're trying to catch the essence of the man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what is it? What is if you could bottle me up in a smell, what would it be?
I'm going to say an answer and everyone's going to go, wow, what an insult.
Uh-huh.
I do not mean it as an insult.
Uh-huh.
And I mean that. Beef and cheese.
Like in a good way, beef and cheese?
Yeah.
Like I smell like a Philly cheesesteak.
Yes. Yes. Like what are our best beef and cheese aromas?
It's a little too, I think it's a little too oily, you know? Okay. I don't want to smell like I've been dipped in a deep fryer. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't want to smell like that.
I mean, you own a meat slicer. You slice meat and cheese in those. I
get it.
Yeah.
I look like cheese. I look like cheese. I am cheese. I look like I love cheese.
Charles asks, what does a bad food take smell like?
I don't have those, so I wouldn't know. I would not know.
So I found the tweet for one of these, the email I assume that you read.
It's a screenshot. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I hope it's I think it's real. If it's not real, then my text that I just sent won't make any sense to the person who received it.
One of the replies is, I think we should host a guard the shooter night where our defense locates the best shooter on each team and face guards. That's just the comments. That's just what the people are saying. Okay.
Text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
I was going to say that the Happer air freshener smells like cold cuts and farts. So Josh hit it right on the nail, right in the head. Thank you for keeping any mention of fart out of the equation.
Well, I mean,
I appreciate that.
Why be so crass?
I appreciate that. All right.
People think I don't have a filter. I do have a filter.
This is a developing story that we will be following.
We will revisit it often this week.
I will let you know when I receive a text back. Let's go to Ohio State Friday night, which does feel like it was an eternity ago.
It really does.
I'm not sure why the weekends feel like that these days. There's been 100 football games since, and they were all important. So Ohio State is looking a little, what's going to happen here? They get the big play. I mean, really, you could boil it down to a couple big plays in the game. The Travion Henderson screen before half that got Ohio State up 14-7 going in the locker room. I mean, they got up right away, and it looked like it was going to be one of those, oh boy, they're a steamroller, watch out. And then Texas just hung in there until the screen, and then all the way until Texas got down to the red zone with an opportunity to tie the game with just a couple minutes left. And then, Josh, are we ready for this? Ready. This happened in Arlington. During that
is exactly what I was thinking, Connor.
All right, because I could see that something grabbed your attention during the middle of that. Somebody was clearly clapping.
You have to be wearing headphones to hear that. You will not be able to hear that just if you're in your car listening. to the radio.
That was Captain Jack Sawyer. And as Charles writes in, can you imagine the Gus call on that? By the way, I have received a response on the what does Fred Hoiberg air freshener smell like? We'll get to that.
That was quick.
Stick with me for 2 minutes. That just gives me another reason to play this.
Warren looking, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Unbelievable. Wow, Jack Sawyer, the hero, Captain Jack.
That's right. They lost that game.
They lost the game.
They lost that
They
game.
thought they were going to win. They did not.
I was cackling Friday night in my house. My child had long gone to bed. My wife was very confused. I said, honey, that's Captain Jack.
Everybody was just shouting, Captain Jack. That's how you know the call was epic from Gus Johnson. No, I could not imagine Gus Johnson on that call. I think he would have died. I think he would have fallen out of the press box.
I don't wish that on that
man. I want him to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want that. So what a great play by him to force it out and then to run down the sideline and after the game making fun of his dear friend Will Howard, who was, a person who was present in the game, saying, at least I didn't fall down and biff it like he did.
They don't like their quarterback.
That's the joke. That's why it's funny.
And then I'm sorry, you were probably going to say this. Quinn told him after the game to piss off or something.
Yeah,
incredible. I forget the phrasing he used, but it was
incredible.
No, screw you. It was screw you.
I absolutely love to see Texas lose that way. Second and goal. Let's just run this toss play that stretches out to the sideline. Horrendous idea.
And in the process, a man becomes a legend.
Yep. Captain Jack, ladies and gentlemen. So Ohio State's going to the national championship game, and that will be next Monday.
The 20th.
The 20th of January.
MLK Day in Atlanta.
Very normal day. Very normal day. All right. So I can report that the Fred Hoiberg air freshener has the scent of black ice.
The funniest possible option because, and as I'm
that's
sure,
the one that I would have picked. I love black. If I was ever going to buy one of those tree air fresheners, I want it to say black ice.
You look at Fred Hoiberg and you think black ice.
That's right.
Also, every dirtbag in high school had the black ice air freshener.
I don't think I've ever bought an air freshener. But if I was, it would be black ice.
Ladies, if you're in a car with a man that has a black ice air freshener, get out immediately.
And now you can have a Fred Hoiberg air freshener that just smells like black ice, but you can't tell that it's black ice. And you're like, what's that smell? It smells so familiar. It's black ice. We report the news to you all here. We're working for you.